A very pleasant afternoon to you and welcome to the Sunday show. It's our show, it's your show, and we are glad to have you here today. How has your Sunday been? I hope you went to the church today to give glory to God for making it possible for us to be alive today. It's not by our making, it's by the glory and mercy of God that we are alive today. As today, as usual, we have a special show for you. I hope you are ready for us. So today is packed. This is a new year. I guess this is the second Sunday in the year 2025. Are you ready? Have you made your New Year resolution? And what is that resolution? What is that thing that you want to do, that you want to achieve this year? I want to encourage you. You can get it. Go there and get it. The sky is not the limit. It is the beginning. I'm encouraging you. Go after what you want. As far as it is good, you will get it by the special grace of God. So join us, call everybody. It's your show. Where would you rather be than being here with us? We are going to enjoy the program today. So let's go on a musical break. And when we come back, we'll continue with the program. I'm not on you, I was confused from the ground up. I'm so y'all don't count down. My love, dirty fire. Love you, madam. I got a question for you. How many guys don't show up? How many guys don't fool up? Gotta go for you, fly. Don't get around. Now it's I was ready, I was smoking, I just want you to go down. That's the truth, and I know that I go. Faida, why you mean no? Become your house, you couldn't knock, you don't reply, oh. Then I be first, Maria, not to touch you. But you forget, say, that I feel control, you need good love me. Nothing will ever stop me from loving you. And I know man, if I be sad, you know that I can still call you. Girl, I need your change. Oh, I need your fire. Oh, me Jesus, me Jesus. You're my for your my I can kill. Me Jesus.
Baby, I want to follow you down to the altar. Baby, you tell me lo to show man. Touch me, oh Amanda. But you talk sick, you desire designer. Wake us up with the order designer for you, girl. My love is for you, girl. You want it for my heart, oh, but you don't take over. My heart is on the bottle. You give me that coca, baby, my baby. Want to make you my baby. You did it, yes, my baby. Just give us my brain. For me,
I'm glad to have you back on the Sunday show. Hope you're enjoying us. If you have not joined, just put on your TV to NTA Channel 10 Lagos. Is the station for excellence. We are here to educate you, to entertain you. And my colleague is here, Stanley, for the sports update. Stanley, are you ready for...
Yes. A lovely afternoon out there to you as I welcome you to the Sunday Show Sports segment. Although it's an brief version of our Sunday show, but we still have to go on air. And we just have two stories for you. Tomorrow, Nigeria Football Federation will unveil the new coach of the Super Eagles. Within the week, precisely last week, the NFA board approved the appointment of Malian Eric Chenen as the new Super Eagles coach, and his task is to lead us to the next World Cup in 2026. What is your view about this? Well, since we don't have much time, I believe next week we'll have time for us to discuss this. Away from that, from the Super Eagles coach, on the 15th, on Wednesday, next week, in Kenya, CAF, the Confederation of African Football, will be making the draws for 2024 CHAN Nations Cup that is coming up in 2025. It's going to be hosted by 3 countries, the first time in the old world. Although everything all started in Africa. When we did the 2 nations hosting, it all started in Africa. Now, the FIFA is about experimenting a 3-country World Cup. And now Africa is starting with a 3-country CHAN Nations Cup. With that, CAF have also increased the prize money for the competition by 75%, meaning whosoever wins this year's edition will go home with a better money in dollars. And Nigerian CHAN Eagles have booked a ticket, and on Wednesday they are going to know their opponents. Let's wait till Wednesday and see who is going to be the opponent. Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda will be the hosts. And today, before we move, in Uyo, the Nest of Champions, Gospel Akpabio Stadium, Enyimba will try to see if they can still meet up. As it is, Enyimba is currently occupying the 3rd position on the table that has Zamalek, Al-Marif, Enyimba, and Black Bull of Mozambique. Last week, Enyimba defeated Black Bull of Mozambique 4-1, with goals from new signing Ide, who is now part of Enyimba team. But the unfortunate thing is Ide have refused invitation to join the CHAN Eagles because he said he already played in AFCON 2013, which they won the Nations Cup with Coach Stephen Keshi. But now he's now an home-based player and he has been drafted to join the team, but he has declined the invitation. Well, if you are in New York today, make time to go and watch and cheer up Enyimba. We just need the 3 points to see if Enyimba can still qualify in that group, because their last match will going to be against Zamalek in Egypt next week. But today they need to get the 3 points. From my end, it's bye-bye as I hand over to Gloria for the continuation of the Sunday show. Don't tune your dial, just stay tuned because we have other things for you for your delight. Yeah, you can take over from here.
So that was a wonderful one, Stanley. We heard the prize money has been increased.
Yeah.
Are we not going to join them?
Well, if they brought the trophy back to Nigeria, it will be a glory to Nigeria.
The trophy is surely coming back to Nigeria.
Well, that's the only trophy in Africa we've not gotten.
Exactly.
So if we can get the CHAN trophy, it will be a blessing to Nigeria.
All right. So thank you we are glad to have you. Now we are going to have them have a kind of Foursquare Church is welcoming us to the new year. Let us see what they have to offer. Foursquare Church, they have a message for us for the new year.
Yes, the Bible is so clear. Christ in us, the hope of glory. Before we can talk about expectation of 2025, we must appreciate God for what we did last year. Yes, indeed, 2004 was a wonderful year. Wonderful, he said that if not for God, where shall we stay? The Lord Almighty saw us through the challenges. Then we know challenges are the victories. He is going to granted us to despite the failing economy. But we thank God, we trust over for this year by His grace. And our expectation as well, we need to tell our members that when the Bible tells us in Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 to 15, that let your light so shine amongst men, so that people will see your good work and give glory to God. So I ask you that when we work hard with God, when we move with God, the light will shine, and our expectation shall come to pass. First and foremost, let me say Happy New Year to all our viewers at home. We thank God for seeing us through 2024, and we're in the new year. And my prayer is that God, who has shown us mercy by bringing us into 2025, He will grant us everything that is needed for us to succeed in the new year. And as a matter of fact, my expectation, based on the prophecy that God has given us in First Gospel Church in Nigeria, which is resounding victories, is that we are going to overcome all the challenges that are facing us, whether as a nation or as individuals, even church, in every aspect of life. And by the grace of God, I'm trusting that this word will come to pass in our lives and in many lives. In Jesus' name.
Well, we want to thank God for 2024. And today being the first Sunday in 2025. Prophetically, as given by our Father in the Lord, the glory of this Great Commission, the First Gospel Church in Nigeria, Reverend Dr. Sam Abuja. This year is going to be a year of resounding victories. Resounding victories. God is going to give, as an individual, victories in family front. There will be new frontiers, new opportunities that will guarantee victory in every aspect. And by God's special grace, we believe strongly that this nation, like our president also said, we believe that things will turn out.
Sunday show on painting is talented. Sunday show on painting is talented.
Thank you for encouraging us to do better in 2025. If you're just joining us, this is your show, The Sunday Show. We are glad to have you here. Hope you are enjoying us this afternoon. And I have a powerful guest with us this afternoon. He's a big fish in the house. I'm glad to introduce the ballet himself. He has a high profile. He is the ballet of Alasia. He is the BOT of National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, that is NAPS. This is Prince. He's a prince as well, Prince Shakiru Raji. We are glad to have you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So we are discussing the challenges facing private education in Nigeria. You know, you are a school owner, and just last week, Monday, we were blown by what a child of 3 being beaten because he could not write the figure 6. So those are the issues we are going to use the short period we have to tackle this afternoon. But before we go, can you just tell us maybe a little more about yourself?
All right, thank you very much. My name is Bale Shakiru Additional Raji. I run a private school. I'm a member of Board of Trustees, National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, Nigeria, and I am an education enthusiast. If I can just cut it short. Education
enthusiast. So that means you know all. We can say you know 80% of what is happening in private education in Nigeria.
In education generally.
In education generally, not only private. Not only so private. How do you see private education in Nigeria? How do you rate it?
Yes, I want to say that private education in Nigeria has been, it's even older than Nigeria. The first nursery school in Nigeria
is in Badagry. And during the Christmas, when I still went there, I still saw the school there. Which means private education has been there for a very long time before even the advent of Nigeria. And private school has been going alongside with public schools, with the public schools, which is government run, leading the way. But we now have a sort of dichotomy between them, wherein they classify that private school is for the rich and public school is for the poor. That is not true. A person like me, I went through public school system from primary to modern school, to secondary school, to A-levels, to university, and to postgraduate. So I've been through it all. The only thing is that we are not giving education the right of place. The United Nations says give 25% of your annual budget to education. Let us look at it today. What is the percentage of the annual budget that is going to education? And education that, and the country that cannot educate its citizenry is doomed, and the future is gloomy. And that is one problem that Nigeria needs to know now. And at the rate at which we are neglecting education in Nigeria today, there's a small write-up that I did in the wake of all this hullabaloo about a child that was beaten by a teacher and so on and so forth. Come to think about it these days, how many parents will like their children to go into the university and study education again? Education has become a subject for frustrated souls.
Oh, let us not go too far. You talked about a fund not being poured into education as it is meant to be. Then whose problem is it? Is it the fault of the private school owners, or who do we fault here?
No, in the first instance, the government is the real person or the real segment that should do 80% of what is in education. If government education system is okay, there's no reason why private education should be thriving. It's not everywhere in the world that you have private education doing as well. Like we are having that, you just start a school today and everybody is becoming a school owner and so on and so forth. But government is lacking in so many things. They don't train teachers again. How many of the universities are having colleges of education that are well run? Now, most of the private universities, how many of them are having real standard education departments? A friend of mine, Mr. Caleb Adebogun of Caleb University, his private, his education department, if you want to run any course in education, is free. They don't have candidates. It's free.
Now let's go. Then, what do we do? Because you see, we are coming back to the issue we want to handle today about the child being beaten. You understand?
Sure.
Now, what do we, because people are no more interested in going into studying education. You just mentioned that there's some private schools, not only the school you mentioned, not the only Caleb. I remember years ago, Lee City.
Yes.
Lee City was announcing that if you want to study education in their university,
you're coming free.
You are coming free.
You want to fill the quota.
I remember my own sister, I introduced, she said, I can never study education. So what do we do to correct?
Thank you very much. Anywhere there is deficit, you have to lure people into it. Be it education, be it agriculture, be it medicine, be it any sector. Government will have to create a conscientious interest in that sector. We have in the not too long distant Nigeria, where if you want to study education, you are being given some money as extra bursary. You have more when they say, all right, other people are taking 10,000 naira for bursary. I'm talking of 10,000 naira of those days. If you are reading education, you get more than 10,000 naira. In the old Western region, when education was introduced and there were paucity of teachers, teachers were being given free this, free accommodation, free motor allowance, and so on and so forth. Definitely you will use that one to lure people into that sector.
All right. Okay.
It's just like you want your child to do something. You give him some sort of push.
I understand, sir. Now, being the secretary, because I understand you are the secretary of the board of trustees of
Yes,
SHAPS.
yes.
Now, because the government might not be aware of the challenges you are going through as a body, what have you done to make the government recognize you and for them to, come into what the business you are doing, that is education?
Let me say this in the first instance. Education in Nigeria is not a business. Because if you have gone into it, you will know that it is not easy for private person to run education. Even government is finding it hard to run education. Now, a situation whereby you have to provide virtually everything that you need. You provide, apart from providing the enabling environment, I'm talking of the structures. You still have to create your own NEPA. That means your source of light. You create your own security. You create your borehole. You dig your borehole, and so many other things like that. And you actually train even these teachers by sending them on short courses so that you can bring them up to date. Many of the graduates that are being sent out of schools these days, they are just not employable. You interview some of them like this, you weep for the country. Because what is coming from them is just not it. But the thing is, when you now go ahead and train them, some of them now realize that, oh, so I have so much potential. They leave the private education. Some of them will now go into government. Before, the exodus has been from government schools to private. But now that private is not paying as much and government is now paying more, they are moving there. That is what we are talking about. You have to entice people with something. Entice them with certain things that they cannot just close their eyes to. Education is just it. I remember a philosopher was asked that if you are going on a journey of 30 years and you are asked to take 3 things with you, what are those things that you will take along? He said the first thing I will take is education. The second thing I will take is education. And the third thing I will take is education.
Education.
Because education is what makes it. That is the only thing that can make you at par, to come at par with other people. It is just the only thing.
Well, you mentioned that education is not a business.
Yes.
So if it's not a business, that means it's a charity.
It's a charity. It's a philanthropy. Many people who are doing this thing are doing it because of their urge. Now we have some entrepreneurs in schools. There is nothing that says that you cannot be an entrepreneur. But when you put investment in education side by side with other businesses, you cannot make it. If you have 3, let me be realistic. Let's say you are running a secondary school and you have 4 students or 10 students in a class. You need a whole teacher, and you need a biology teacher, you need a chemistry teacher, you need a physics teacher, you need a Greek teacher, you need this teacher, you need that teacher. And it is just that number. At the end of the day, we just end up paying salaries.
Okay.
That is what you just do.
Thank you for your contribution. I want to go on a short break. And when we come back, we are going to quickly discuss the issue of the child that was beaten last week, abused last week.
No problem. You're welcome.
So these guys still call you Mama do good now because they know I always expect love to them.
Mama will good to us. She express love with playboy. Even expressing
love with Indomie flavors.
At Sona Plastics, customers' needs are our priority. We give you all the attention you need. With us, our customers are kings. Located at Kilometer 40, Lagos Abẹ́òkúta Expressway, Ijoko, Ogun State. Sona Plastics Limited is just a phone call away. Contact us 8080-2783-5332. You can reach us through any of our lines on social media handles. Sona Plastics Limited. Come, let us treat you like a king.
Mama, so these guys still call you Mama Dugu. Yes, now, because they know I always express love to them. I see different flavors. Yes, let's say that again. Life of the party, carry your Indomie jollof. Special lady, take your Indomie oriental. Pepper lover, your Indomie pepper soup. Don't worry, I didn't forget your onion chicken. This is I miss home. Take your Indomie crayfish. Thank you.
Mama do good, Mama way good express love with flavor. You give us Indomie.
From childhood favorite to new discoveries, keep expressing love with Indomie flavors.
Back where would you rather be if not the Sunday show? And today on the Sunday show, we have Prince Shakiru Raji with us, where we are discussing about issues, challenges facing the private education in Nigeria. So stay tuned as we discuss what happened recently about a child that was abused in a private school last week. Want to hear from him what he thinks about it. Now, the child was beaten because he was not able to write some figure 6. So, what do you think about it? What is your view on that?
Yes, thank you very much. You see, everything has got methodology. And if you don't know the method of how to do things, you cannot just get it. There is no way you can teach a child how to write figure 6 with the child facing you. And those are some of those things that are lacking in our
that comes down to methodology.
Yes, it is methodology.
Methodology.
You cannot, it's just like you are asking somebody to write also 9. 6 and 9 is always a problem. If you reflect in your own days too as a toddler, you realize that writing letter 6, you write it this way. And if you want to write letter
just
9,
like C,
just like
letter C,
just the other way around. The woman supposed, or the teacher supposed to put the child by the side. And that is when you can teach him how to write letter 6. Because when he's looking at your own figure 6 there, and trying to write it from here, he'll be writing the wrong thing. And that is one of those things that our colleges of education should actually put more emphasis on. The woman was no doubt too harsh on the boy. You know, some people, they don't have that training instinct in them.
The patience
to teach somebody. He will put the person at his own or her own level. And if you are using that one for a child of 3 years and you are over 30 or 40 years.
Because of our time, I know. Now, do you think it's just the fault of the teacher? Because I'm aware that the child is only 3.
Yes.
Going to 4.
Yes.
Because the mother said it will be 4 this month, this January, or this year. Let's say this year the child is going to be 4. And a 4-year-old child is not just figures, maybe 60-something that the child was. Don't you think that the curriculum, the scheme of work is being, overhauled?
I'm happy when I heard the Minister of Education Dr. Alausa saying the other time that they are going to overhaul certain things. You see, we learn too much by rote. We learn a lot by rote. You cram it, even up to university level. Cramming is just, a daily basis. You just cram it and then you pour it and it's
What's the way to educate parents?
You see?
Because it's a private school.
Yes.
It's a kind of competition. Okay, it's a kind of competition. If your child in this particular school is not able to do what, that's why the school
there is too much expectation from our parents. They want a child of 3 years to be able to write 1, 2, 3 to 10,000 by that age.
Okay.
You see, many of those children that are being asked to do so much, they're supposed to just be learning by, using items, items, objects.
All right, sir.
And that is what is lacking in most of our time.
So we are sorry, we are just going to wrap it up here.
There's no problem.
We're glad to have you. So what do you have to say to our parents?
Yes, our parents should not be too much in a hurry. A lot of our parents are pushing their children too much. You see, a child of 1 year old is already in school. By the time he is 2, they will say, all right, you push him. Even some parents will push for double promotion. It has happened to me before. And I told some of them, come, if your child cannot go by the normal movement, then you can take him to other school. Some of them will accede to your suggestion. But some are so much eager. Mama Lagaja, the child is 3 years old, the same age mate with my child. And the child is already reading 1 to 100.
What?
So those are just not it. Parents should also take it easy on these children. Let them have the cognitive ability. Not just because a child is 2 years old or is big. Children these days are big. So many of them, they just feel that you should just push the child and push and push. And at the end of the day, that's when they get to university level, many of them cannot cope because of the pressure on them. And they end up joining groups that are just inimical.
I wish we had enough time to...
You're always welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you, our secretary, for being here today. We are glad to have you. Our viewers at home, our parents, you have heard it all. Let us not push these children beyond where their measures, where their brain, because it's a mental process, it's a gradual process. Next time, maybe we are going to have a Prince here to discuss further on issues affecting education in Nigeria. I remain yours, Gloria Akin Vincent. Thank you for having us. Have a pleasant week.
Thank you very much and have a wonderful week ahead. Happy New Year.
I see the love in your eyes. You know the truth of your eyes. I see the things I need you to do. Cause I just sleep upon and I know I'm the one that made you old. I wonder why you cry. Smile when I say something. You turn around and bark on it. I know I need to cry. I know I need to cry.